Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get-started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
Oh, Jeannie.
Yes.
Did you see? Hulk Hogan got booed in L.A.
It was beautiful.
We said we ain't got time.
All the boo birds came out of the rafters, out from like under the stadium. It was such overwhelming boos.
I've never seen a narcissistic old man truly frightened before. And now I have.
I have never seen someone fight for their life like that. I felt like this is like a scene out of Citizen Kane.
It was so bad that even Jim Cornette was like, it can't even do the call over the ear. The arms are gone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like Jimmy Hart.
Bless his heart.
Nobody ain't got nothing bad to say about Jimmy Hart. They got that 80-year-old man swinging a 20-pound flag for 10 minutes. That's elder abuse.
That truly.
WWE, and this is not the first time I tried to tell y'all about themselves.
And Jimmy, not a fraction of those boos were for you.
No.
The boos were pointed.
Well, you see, he kept like backing into the hallway. Like, if they start throwing shit, I'm out.
It was surreal. Now, a lot of people, like, you're seeing, if you've seen the clip online, and you've seen it from like the WWE's perspective, they masked a lot of that booing with some like mic'd cheers, like from like sections that were definitely
find a fan video, find an audience video.
Yes, from the perspective of the audience, it's amazing,
and you will really hear the boos. Like, ooh. Like, oh my God.
From below the diaphragm.
Like, oh my God, the Staples Center started. Hear all them boos.
It's still echoing.
And then had the nerve to try to plug his beer.
I know. They started
going to drink harder. That fermented piss water, Hogan.
You had nothing to offer. Yeah. Naming it after the people you screwed over.
If I want to drink a wrestling beer.
Yes.
There are only two that I'll drink. Mm-hmm. Weird that there are two.
Yeah, I know, right?
One, of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer.
Of course.
Which I think is bottled by the same people that do Danny Trejo's because they taste very similar.
Quality beer.
And there's another beer. It's an IPA. It's one of those vanilla sugar milk things that sounds like it's disgusting. Yeah. But trust me, it's fine. It's like the sweetest, tartest apple cider you've ever had.
Ooh, that does sound nice.
And I can't remember the name of it, but the artwork on the can is like a 12-year-old's drawing of the Iron Sheik putting Hulk Hogan in the camel clutch and making him humble.
That is such a great move.
And as Hogan's ego was slowly shattering as he was booed into oblivion, somewhere out there, Macho Man's heart grew 3 times its size. Somewhere in
Not one of just down to human growth hormone, brother.
Somewhere in probably one of your better nursing homes in Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura is saying, "Got you, bitch." Somewhere in Montreal. Mm-hmm. Bret Hart is hard and debating if he should leave the room for this.
He has downloaded it. He has mounted this on his wall. in a clip that just over and over
He
and
sleeps
over.
to it now.
Yes. It is a lullaby.
He canceled his Calm subscription. And he is just somewhere out there. The late great Scott Hall is like, I told you he wasn't shit.
Right?
Been telling y'all since day one Hogan wasn't shit. Somewhere in Scottsdale, Kevin Nash is sitting in his lazy boy, and for the first time in his life, didn't feel the cartilage, the bone action on his knee. He was so happy.
Yes.
A lot of people were happy to see Hogan booed.
Yes. Rowdy Piper tried to tell us with those sunglasses.
He'd been telling us.
And now vindicated in heaven.
But enough about Hulk Hogan getting booed, even though I will never get old.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm going to watch it again after this.
A tale for you.
Yay. Let's go.
Tell me what you know about Rae Carruth.
Rae Carruth, sports ball man.
Yes.
Handsome.
Yes.
Brain damaged.
Possibly. No, not now. No.
Oh, okay.
So
he isn't one of those people that got CTE.
He's not. He's not. I mean, he's an asshole, but like natural born. He didn't have head injuries for this.
So also, very scant knowledge.
Yeah, he's a running buff guy, not a tackle buff guy.
Okay, got it.
Even though he plays the foot.
That is the limitation of my knowledge about football.
Yeah, there's the small buff guys that do all the running, and the big buff guys that do all the tackling. And the big guys protect the little guys from being boomed on each other, but little guys need to learn how to take a hit.
Yes.
And he's one of the little guys.
Got it.
So Rae, R-A-E, Theodis Wiggins. Theodis.
Oh my goodness. That is such a Southern name.
I read what his middle name was. I was like, what in the Reconstructionist hell? Theodis.
It is so from the Victorian era.
Theodis.
I've never heard anything that sounded more 1800s.
Spoiler alert, his mother's name is Theodre. Anyway.
That's pretty. I like that.
Both of them make me go, what in the Reconstructionist hell? I know,
but then again, I did live in Appalachia, and that's pretty.
Rae was born on January 20th, 1974, in Sacramento, California.
Yay, Sacramento. I like Sactown.
To Theodre Lamar and Charles Wiggins. We don't know a lot about the relationship between Rae's parents, other than they were most likely young and split early. Theodre would eventually remarry, and she would marry Samuel Carruth, which is the name Rae would keep for the rest of his life. I don't know how old his parents were or how old Rae was when his mom remarried, but if he got the last name and kept it so seamlessly, I'm thinking teenagers and toddlers.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
is what we're dealing with in his early life. And honestly, I don't know what else to say about Rae's background in an unincorporated ex-urban area of Oak Park, which is a suburb of Sacramento.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. On the one hand, when you read stories about Rae Carruth or watch any of the old clippings from him in college or when he went to the NFL, you get a lot of the typical back points about Rae in his early life. We've all heard the stories, Black athletes coming from poor, working class families, some sort of an at-risk background, sports being the only way that they can afford an education, provide for their families, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
But after some digging on the Oak Park area, I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
So, Oak Park, where Rae grew up, is an area where the median income is $150,000 a year. His stepfather worked in manufacturing, probably for like some farming company.
Yeah.
I mean, his parents have the right to privacy. He's the public asshole, not them. So I didn't dig too hard on some of that. But his dad worked in manufacturing. His mom works in legal services. Okay. Some people say she was some sort of county clerk, like a city clerk. I've heard other stories that she was like a paralegal.
Yeah.
But somehow she worked in the legal services arena, but she was not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right? So while it is true that there is about 5% of the Oak Park population that lives below the poverty line, I couldn't find anything that pointed to the Carruth family being on that kind of struggle bus.
No way.
Which was interesting because when you go back and you look at a lot of his stuff, he gets the same hard knock life story that Deion Sanders gets, that insert almost every famous athlete.
Yeah, like boilerplate.
Yeah. And I'm like, so did y'all just assume that and Ray was too young and stupid to correct you and was just happy to be in the NFL, so fuck it?
Yeah. Oh, if that's what you want to say, fine, give me my money.
Which, I mean, if that's the case, I don't blame him, but I'm like, lazy reporting. It sounds like he comes from a pretty solid, working to upper middle class,
definitely,
background. Even if
I bet he had a pool, you know.
Right. Parents are homeowners.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. By the time Ray attended Valley High School, he was everything that a young man could inspire to be. Tall-ish, about 5'10". Small for football size, but...
Yeah. You know. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like with wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like if you're normal man size, which 5'10" is...
Yes.
That's like... That's dude height. That's man size.
The average size of average.
Exactly. But like football tends to have those bigger guys.
Right. And he weighed in just under 200 pounds. So that's, to me, that's slim thick.
Exactly. He can run.
You know, a young Rae Carruth had more cuts than a Thanksgiving turkey. And he was a good-looking kid, medium light skin. All the girls talk about those deep honey-colored eyes. You know, nice complexion, soft curl pattern.
Yes.
He is everything light-skinned pretty boys of the 90s.
Yes.
And he plays football. In fact, Ray was so charismatic, he was voted prom king twice.
What? Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
You know? And while there's no doubt that he was a talented football player when he was in high school, people that knew him say that Ray was terrified, like bone deep, terrified of not getting an athletic scholarship.
Wow.
To get him out of Sacramento.
Huh.
Because all he wants to do is be a famous athlete. He doesn't just want to be an athlete and just play.
Yeah.
He needs to be famous athlete.
Man. Ooh.
And that is also kind of why I think the struggle bus reporting on his background is just lazy reporting.
Yeah.
Aspiring to be an athlete to help care for your family is a struggle. And to get out of something is a struggle bus narrative. But I need a scholarship so I can be a famous athlete.
Yeah.
It's not a struggle bus story.
No, that's ambition.
Right. And, you know.
That's interesting, though. Like, people like that who are so driven, I must be great. I am going to be famous. I find that, like, that mania interesting.
It can be interesting. And that's why I think it's just weird, lazy reporting.
It is. Thank God for you.
That nobody, like, clawed back up. Like, I didn't even have to look hard, girl.
Yeah, that's all public record, right?
I wrote this whole episode off of news clips and old newspaper articles. I didn't have to look far.
Did they just, like, bury that information, or would it be there and they just not make the connection?
I think it's there, but upper middle class black kid continues to make good. It's not a story that sells paper.
Yes. And we do live in it must sell. We must sell this paper.
But struggle bus of one of the few black families in this exurban area makes good and becomes famous is a much better newspaper story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Than what I suspect is the truth. But thankfully, all of Ray's dreams would come true. Graduated high school in 1991, and not long after graduation, he got a full scholarship to the University of Colorado, Rocky Mountain High,
Colorado.
Full ride.
Well, yay.
I was listening to the Muppet Christmas album with John Denver for this holiday season.
Wonderful choice.
Because I own it. On wax. Like, from my childhood. I was like, let's just dig this old scratchy thing up. And
every Christmas.
It's got some scratches, girl. That album was played a lot. Rae would play for Colorado for 4 years and earn a spot as a first-team All-American in 1996.
Cool.
Rae would leave college with a scoring record of 135 passes caught for 2,540 yards and 11 touchdowns in his high school career as a wide receiver. Small running guy. Catchy the ball running guy.
Yes.
Is what his job is. He would also leave college with double degrees in education and English. And contrary to what some of the reports of a hood upbringing may lead you to believe, Rae is just as intellectual as he is talented on the football field. He was so focused on being a famous athlete that he was tempted to let the academic side just fuck it. Focus on football. But his mom was at that school with the counselors and got Rae together quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Mom.
He would graduate with a 3.2 GPA.
Nice. That's impressive.
That is a solid A-B+.
Yeah, especially when you are doing something as time-intensive and obsessive as, like, football.
Also, another bit of proof that his parents, he doesn't come from some struggle bus background. Sadly, people that might be on the struggle bus, especially if they have multiple children, may not have the time to advocate for their kids like this.
True.
Because they got to make a living, because they're working, every adult's working 2-3 jobs. Yada, yada, yada. So you may value your child's education, like mentally, but physically you can't, because you got to make a living somehow. And your parents are doing okay if they come to your college and meet with your counselor and get your ass together. And you listen. That's this, again, I'm not in these people's lives for real. But it's a very
look at the evidence.
Very strong suspicion. In 1997, Rae was drafted by the Carolina Panthers. Wow. I like the Panthers. I always bet on them. Because Cam Newton is fine. He is. When he played. I mean, he ignorant as all hell, po baby. I've listened to a couple of episodes of his podcast, and I'm like, what in the Umar Johnson am I listening to?
Oh my God. He's just like reporting the podcasts he listens to.
Yeah, essentially.
It's like telephone. Alpha male telephone.
Yeah. But before I listened to his podcast, Cam Newton is fine.
Yes.
Undeniably. And the Carolina Panthers have that nice color palette with the white shirt and the black pants with the baby blue stripes on the side. It's a good look. It's a good look.
Yes.
Especially the black on black, which I think is the home. No, you wear your colors when you're away. You wear your whites when you're at home.
Right?
I think. Either way,
that away. It's one way or the other.
Yeah. The outfit that they got, the black on black with the blue. Yes. Yes. And I only bet on sports teams by best outfits and hottest guy.
You know what? Fair.
I rarely lose a sports bet.
It's a good system because it's all just like, it's just, gambling is gambling is gambling.
There are men in my life that have been very upset to buy me that Drake or pay me that $25 because they know how ridiculous my betting system is. And they're over there talking about wind velocity. I'm like, oh, he cute.
Right.
And he look good in that green.
I bless them.
We'll go with them. I like that. And if there are no hot guys and all the teams have bad colors, I won't take that bet. I'm not dumb. The system works.
It's never failed me.
So Rae was picked number 27th overall.
Okay.
So that means he is the 27th pick out of all of the teams that are allowed to pick first. I think in the first 30 or whatever it is, he was number 27.
So he would have gone out in the first draft.
Yes. Being drafted to the NFL was a bit bittersweet for Rae. Yes, all of his dreams of football fame and fortune are on the cusp of becoming true.
Yeah.
But his college girlfriend, Michelle, came up pregnant that sophomore year. And the relationship didn't last college.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Michelle and Ray did the best they could with their son, Ray Jr., while they were in school. But even then, it was clear that Ray had really no intentions of being a present father.
Yeah.
When Ray was drafted to the NFL, Michelle sued Ray for child support and would eventually get $2,700 a month in child support payments. The courts had originally awarded Michelle $5,400 a month, but she settled at $2,700 after she got promises from Ray to be a more present father. Because it seems like she wanted him.
Yeah.
And a family.
Yeah.
And everything. But like a lot of young people, they get that fame.
Yeah.
And everything you thought you knew, and fame opens up options.
It does.
Like Rae Carruth was a good-looking man, so he had no shortage of bitches when he was, air quotes, poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So imagine what he can pull now that he got a little bit of money in his pocket. He was already pulling
He's
baddies.
being pursued.
He was already pulling baddies.
Yeah.
Now he gonna get even badder baddies.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was thinking.
Probably. Especially when you're that young.
Yes. But when Ray was in college, before him and Michelle break up, and even before they break up, he was more of an athlete and famous person in training than he was a present father. Like, he would read to kids and write poetry and submit poems and essays and stuff. He sat in on classes and support groups for freshmen and sophomores that were struggling. And people that knew him at that time said those experiences like really humbled Ray. And his cocky dude attitude. When he starts volunteering and doing stuff. And they say that made him a better person, but I wonder if that's just famous guy in training.
That's a good question.
Because if I'm going to be a famous football player, I got to get used to charity events and sick kids and doing stuff like reading for charity. And, you know, I want to be a gentleman athlete and be seen as intellectual. And things like that. So I wonder if those things made him a better person or if that was just weird, kind of like his own personal media training.
Yeah. Calculated.
Very.
Yeah.
Again,
I don't know. That's a good question.
Can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why is some other fine-ass 22-year-old dude that just signed to the NFL spending all this extra time reading to sick kids?
Know, right?
Not saying that anybody in that position's got to be a garbage person, but I just don't imagine that would be high on his list of priorities.
I agree. It seems pretty calculated. Or that was something you were always doing. You were always volunteering.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like the volunteering and stuff in college seems very
new.
Yeah. Michelle was able to negotiate such favorable child support because Ray had just signed to the Carolina Panthers. Remember, she won $5,400.
Yeah.
But she told him, I'll settle for $27,000. His original 4-year deal was $3.7 million.
Oh, wow. Nice.
With a $1.5 million signing bonus. He could afford the $27,000.
Yeah, definitely.
He could have afforded the $54,000.
Yeah. No, she did a real solid.
And while Ray would start his NFL career out wildly successful, by the end of the 1998 season, he was plagued with injuries that would see him playing fewer than 5 games for the 98-99 season.
Ooh.
That's rough. He's barely 24-ish.
Yeah.
That's a rough hoe. So how you you feeling about old Rae Carruth?
He's very interesting. He seems like God has handed him blessings with both hands.
Yes.
He's on a wonderful upward trajectory. But this is Talk Deadly to Me. Dun dun dun. Is the other shoe dropping?
Yes.
Here we go.
So now we're going to talk about Rae and Sharika.
Sharika, okay.
Sharika Adams. In June of 1998, Rae met Sharika Adams at a pool party.
Okay, cute.
So he's living in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Panthers are from.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I always think North Carolina.
it may be North. I really don't care that much.
It's one of them.
Look, Cam Newton's fine ass retired, and all they got left is them outfits. They ain't gave me no new fine.
Yeah, true.
So just know that they're the team from the Carolinas.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. People that knew the couple said that Rae and Sharika had instant attraction. It was kismet.
Yeah. Love at first sight.
And I dare anybody to say anything other than that Rae Carruth in his prime wasn't anything other but a fine man.
True.
I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you. By almost anybody's standards.
Mm-hmm.
But especially by like late 90s, light brown skin, soft hair texture,
Yep.
pretty boy standards.
Yep.
Oh yeah. like he's giving you the full Alan Payne from Jason's Lyric in New Jack City.
Mm-hmm.
But less man fur.
Yes.
No black man is as furry as Alan Payne. It's like, woo, Lord.
He's an outlier.
Watch the basketball scene from New Jack City. It's like, what did they do to your back if your chest still looks like that?
I know, right? Ouch.
Even Wesley was like, don't touch me with all that greasy shit. No. And if people that knew Rae in high school and college are to be believed, Rae is as charming and smart and athletic as he is good looking.
I believe it.
No reason to doubt these people. As you say, he was given many gifts with both hands and the feet.
Yes. Kick to him.
And Sharika is every bit his equal.
Nice.
While she may not have been a professional athlete, Sharika Adams is a beautiful woman with a cocoa complexion, big, beautiful, dark brown, soulful eyes, and the kind of smile that could rival the sun.
Nice. She sounds lovely.
She's also an accomplished student that had
Nice.
her eye on a career in real estate.
All right.
Sharika and Rae dated for a while, but they fell out of contact around October of 1999. These are young people in their middle 20s.
Mm-hmm.
They got a couple of dollars in their pocket.
Yeah.
The social scenes, the clubs, the
Yeah.
whatever, it's popping.
Yeah.
And that's when people fall out of touch.
True.
Especially then, before you could track everybody down.
Yeah.
And constantly had a thing in your
Yeah.
pocket to get in touch with people. Sharika and Rae dated for a while, but they fell out of contact until about October of 1999 when they ran into each other at a strip club party.
Nice.
You have to keep in mind, though, that in the South, in some places, the strip club is the club.
It is. Yeah.
So it's not unusual to find men and women in a strip joint and everybody just kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
Not every strip club. Like in LA, I feel like the strip clubs are just to sexually frustrate you, take your money, and send you home.
Because there's another place you go to drink and dance.
Exactly.
But in Bumfuck,
But in some places in the South, the strip club is
the club.
the club.
Yeah.
So there are some stories that make a massive deal out of Sharika being a stripper, looking to catch the bag.
Oh.
There are different stories about how they met. Everybody says they met in the strip club at a party. Some people on Team Sharika say they met at a party. They got reacquainted again at this party.
Yeah.
It was just a party at a strip club.
Yeah.
Other people, usually people on Team Rae, say that he met her at the club again while she was working.
Okay.
That she was doing the college thing, stripping to pay my way through school kind of thing.
It could be.
Both things can be true. I'm just inclined to believe
And
her.
there's nothing wrong with it if she did.
No, not at all. But like I said, everything that I've been able to find shows that Sharika, she may have been a dancer for a few months, but by the time she ran into Ray again, she was like, yeah, I am not about this life.
Yeah.
I cannot. I don't want to be around these old men, whatever.
No amount of money is worth this.
Right. She had a friend or two that was doing it. She's pretty enough. She could try it, and it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess both things can be true. Right? Regardless of why Sharika was at the club, it was a meeting that brought Rae Carruth back into her life. Once they got reacquainted, they started hooking up because duh.
Yeah.
I mean, these are pretty, sexy people in their middle 20s.
Yep.
Great careers. Everybody got body. Nobody's face card will ever decline.
Yep.
And they've both got stamina for days.
Yep.
Why wouldn't they hook up?
I know, right?
It's always like when people are like shocked that Olympic Village is just fuck city.
I know, right?
I'm like, yeah, it's fuck city. These are attractive athletes in their late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Everybody's barely legal. Yes, this is exactly who they should be fucking.
Yeah.
Leave them kids alone.
All those hormones are all natural.
Yeah.
The Olympic Committee tests to make sure.
Yes. The only hormones going is because they all look hot in their little outfits.
Yeah.
Regardless of what sport you play, you look good in your little outfit.
They're babies. That's why it's disturbing to me. It makes sense to me, but I'm like, they're children.
I'm not disturbed. I'm like, no, that's who they should be. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It makes sense.
Yes, let them fuck each other. Of course they don't want us. As old meat bags that have never been athletic in our lives. They don't want us.
Cutting this out.
Yeah, no.
We're getting to meat bags.
Yeah. They're humping on exactly who they need to be humping on. And I'm giving Ray and Sharika the same energy.
Yes.
This is exactly who he should be humping on.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Even though Ray and Sharika weren't in a serious relationship, Sharika did tell her mom and her friends that Ray had bought her a cell phone that he could better keep in contact with.
Ooh.
To which
That's
I say,
what it was fancy.
To which I said, Sharika, gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang. And this is one of the things, and we'll probably talk about it later, that frustrates me about Rae Carruth. He chooses not to be interesting.
Oh, yeah?
We'll get there.
Okay.
But he's, like you say, he's the man of many gifts, both physical and intellectual. At a certain point, he quits using those gifts, the intellectual ones.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
In favor of the party shit. Which is fine, which is fair. You're young, rich, and famous. Fuck it, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that means he's not giving her a lot to keep him. Other than decent dick and expensive toys. He's not giving anything else.
Yeah. Nothing real.
Yeah. So that's what I'm like, the cell phone is game. Game. Because at this point, he's not playing as much. He's hurt more than he is on the field.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of idle time. He has long since left his academic and philosophical leanings behind him.
Yep.
What else does he have to keep her? Expensive stuff.
True.
He could do that. Poor thing. But as the kids say, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. And after a couple of months of getting it in, Thraka, Sharika came up pregnant.
You don't say.
Girl.
I can't believe it.
The devil. The devil, you say.
I know. Doesn't make sense.
Just all hot and fertile. Getting it in and just, what? And I can't prove it with science. I wasn't there, but Ray is probably one of them dudes like, oh, I'm too big. It don't fit.
Oh, God, right? Yeah.
It's like, no, we live in YouTube. I saw a woman put a whole condom on her leg. It was fine.
Lies. Straight from the pits of hell.
Or like, there's a scene in John Singleton's final movie, one of his final ones, Baby Boy, which I submit is probably one of his best and most complicated work. works. Even though people will cite Boys in the Hood. That's fine.
Yeah.
But there's a scene in Baby Boy where the lady playing Tyrese's mom in that movie, when he's like a teenager and he gets his girlfriend pregnant and his mom slaps him in the face like, you need to quit telling these bitches that you in love with them when you nutting up in them. Hoes believe that shit. Bop, 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 bop. And that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from Ray. He is either, it's too big and trying to guilt women that way, or tell them, oh yeah, we gonna get married, da 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 da, and love bombing while he's up in it.
Yeah.
And then they believe him because he's saying all the good, fun, sexy shit.
Exactly.
You know,
he's saying what I want to hear.
And the next thing you know, he's livid when you're pregnant.
How could this happen?
Man.
How could you let this happen?
Well, quit raw dogging everybody.
Right?
And
Grow up.
Ray is already paying $2,700 a month in child support.
Yeah.
For his college kid. Ray tried to talk Sharika out of having the baby. But she said no. Having her baby, a little boy that she would eventually name Chancellor, was what's going to happen. It's not up for debate. When she was in her late teens, Sharika got pregnant, like 17-ish, and decided to have an abortion. And like a lot of women, she's not in a position to take care of a child.
Yeah.
No career. She's barely out of high school, still in high school. She made the right decision for herself. That doesn't mean that the emotional turmoil doesn't stick with you.
Yeah.
For some people. And now here she is. She's almost 24. She's working full time. She's finished her schooling. She's in a much better position to take care of a child.
Yeah.
Ray be damned. So she's going to keep her kid.
Fair.
Very. Ray's already dead beaten over there.
Yeah, right.
So how do you feel about Ray and Sharika?
Apprehensive, because I know how our show goes.
This is the
I'm very scared for her.
This is right and true. So after a few months of on and off dating again, and being unable to convince Sharika to terminate her pregnancy, Ray decided to take matters into his own hands.
Oh, no.
Nothing ever good comes from a man trying to coerce somebody into terminating a pregnancy, taking matters into his own hands.
Yeah.
How Rae Carruth got in touch with Van Brett Watkins kind of remains a mystery. It's not like they're old friends or anything like that.
Yeah.
But they did meet through the Charlotte party scene.
Okay.
And like a lot of football players, famous athletes, they got a lot of hangers on and entourages, and they probably only know 20% of the people of these hanger-ons. And that's probably what Van Brett Watkins was.
Okay.
He was a ne'er-do-well that hung out around the clubs, looking to get the attention of well-funded sports stars or, whatever, just hanger-on guy. What we do know for sure is at some point, Van Brett Watkins and Rae Carruth became acquainted.
Okay.
I am, again, assuming a party connection. So, and while Ray tries to play down his association with Van, one thing is clear. They were close enough for Ray to hire Van Brett Watkins to murder Sharika Adams and their unborn son. You gotta be a close friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta know you.
You would think. Unless you're like a complete moron.
Want to kill my wife? Want to kill her? Yeah, nobody's doing it right now. I'm doing that. On November 16th, 1999, Rae called up a now 8-month pregnant Sharika and asked her out for a double date with another company.
Mm-hmm.
For reasons that no one has ever been able to explain, or Rae refuses to explain,
Mm-hmm.
Rae told Sharika to meet him and the other couple at the movies instead of picking her up and everybody going together.
Mm-hmm.
She was fine, met up everybody there. After the movie, Rae and Sharika made plans to take their separate cars and go back over to Sharika's place.
Mm-hmm.
As they pulled out of the parking lot of the movie theater, Rae was driving his white SUV, and not far in Sharika's behind, and not behind Sharika is a black BMW.
Mm-hmm.
She may not realize it, but she's in a caravan with Rae in the front, her in the middle, and this black BMW in the back. As they drove back to Sharika's place, she didn't notice that there was a black Nissan following her and forming a 4-car caravan.
Okay.
As they drove, Rae started to slow down. Sharika slowed down behind him, assuming that there was something on the road ahead, a stop sign or something.
Yeah.
As Sharika slowed down, the Nissan pulled up behind her. Van Brett Watkins rolled down his back passenger window of the Nissan and shot into Sharika's car 5 times, hitting Sharika in the neck and torso.
Ooh.
After she was shot, Sharika was able to steer her car off of the road, where she came to rest in front of a telephone pole on a stranger's lawn. Once the car came to a stop, Sharika pulled out the cell phone that Rae had bought her. Game.
Right.
And called 911.
Wow.
So while she's waiting for help to arrive, Van tried to throw his .38 caliber gun into a nearby creek, but he missed. He's a big guy. Van Brett Watkins is well over 6 feet, probably about 6'4", 6'5", 300 pounds if he weighs an ounce.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that he seems like he could probably be equal parts terrifying and charming.
That makes sense.
Depending on what kind of mood you're in.
I'm guessing he felt confident he could hoik that gun into the pond.
But apparently he has no arm. The gun would be found by passersby months later after the incident. During the shooting, Rae paused for a few seconds and then drove off. The paramedics were able to get to Sharika within minutes of the 911 call.
Wow.
And she was rushed to a local trauma center. While in the hospital, Sharika would deliver her son, Chancellor, via emergency C-section.
Wow.
Sharika would be in the hospital for 4 weeks. During that time, she couldn't speak because she was incubated, but she was able to write. And over the next 4 weeks, Sharika would tell the cops that she was following Rae back to her place at 9:45 p.m. after the movies when she got shot. Sharika also said that she briefly saw Rae's brake lights turn on before he drove away. Sadly, while Sharika would fight valiantly for her life for 4 weeks, she would succumb to her injuries and died on December 14th, 1999, when she was 24 years old. Her son, Chancellor, would live, but the lack of oxygen and blood meant that he was born with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah, that's a rough road to hoe. Just being popped out on this earth.
Yeah, that's a difficult beginning, to say the least. And poor Sharika.
Yeah.
And poor Sandra. We'll talk about Miss Sandra in a minute. But sadly, after Sharika succumbed to her injuries, it is time for the investigation and the trial.
To begin.
Now, because Sharika was able to point Rae out before she died, he was one of the first people that the police got in contact with, in the days and weeks before she passed.
Just statistically, you have to.
Yeah. Looking into Ray and his entourage before and after Sharika's death led the cops to Van Brett Watkins, Michael Kennedy, and Stanley Abraham. All men who were friendly with Ray and part of his larger entourage.
Okay.
Like I said, in these celebrity sports circles, where these dudes are walking around with an entourage of 50, 60 people,
Yeah.
he probably actually only knows 10 of the 50 people he's rolling with at any given moment.
He's pulled in the gravitational pull.
Yeah, and all these guys know somebody that wants to get put on, wants to go, siphon off the drugs, the women, the drink, the money, whatever crumbs fall off of that.
Precisely, crumbs.
It's probably better than what they were doing before.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Before Sharika's death, all 4 men were persons of interest. But after Sharika's death, all of them were arrested in connection with her murder.
Oh, okay.
Van Brett, Kennedy, and Stanley all admitted to their involvement in the drive-by. While they're being detained and questioned, Ray made bail, because he's the only one with a couple of nickels in his pocket. More than a couple of nickels. The ends is meeting like a motherfucker for Rae Carruth.
Yeah.
But because he was able to make bail, Van Brett, Kennedy, and Stanley all admitted their involvement in the drive-by. They're all arrested and detained. Ray was arrested as well, but because he's the only one with any money, he's able to make bail.
Yeah.
Which he immediately skipped.
Oh. Yeah.
He made bail and ran off.
Yeah. Unsurprising.
Less than 24 hours after jumping bail, the FBI was able to find Ray hiding in the trunk of a different girlfriend's car.
Dang.
In a Best Western parking lot with $36,000 of cash on his person. While the dumbass broad who was trying to help Ray flee was let go. You're dumb. You're dumb. You a dumb heifer.
Yeah.
Ain't no dick that good. Ain't no man that good looking that I'm helping you jump bail. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you got a ding-a-ling of gold, and even then I might just take about taking the schlong and pawning it or something. I don't know. Like, that's a whole different set of problems. But there is nobody out there that rich, that good looking, that famous, that cold, that they can come to my house and say, I jumped bail, will you help hide me? Okay. And I drive them to the next state.
I know, right?
To crash at a Best Western.
Hide them in your trunk.
In the trunk of a Best Western.
I know.
How the mighty have fallen.
That's desperate.
Once he was the scholarly athlete, but now you're just sitting in the trunk of a car with a bunch of money in your pocket or wherever it was. Ray was taken into custody. They let the dumb girl go. They were just like, you dumb.
Yeah. You're dickmatized.
Just go away.
Be on your way.
Like they didn't hold her. They didn't do nothing. They were just
learn from this. Grow.
Just leave.
Yeah. That was the right call.
It's like, stop it. Get some help.
Technically, we should thank you. You made this so easy.
True. But yeah, she was not. No. She could go. Ray was taken into custody to await his trial. Because now he clearly can't be trusted on bail.
Yes.
While Ray is getting arrested, all of his accomplices would turn on him by the time the case went to trial.
Smart.
Everybody's going to do the time they get.
Exactly.
But ain't nobody throwing their life away for Ray Carruth.
No.
After a lot of legal maneuvering that we're going to skip, trying to, well, he didn't know this. They knew that. He's paying top dollar. They're doing their jobs.
Playing dirty.
Ray would finally go to trial in January 2001. And the prosecution case is simple. Sharika is pregnant. She's refuting to have an abortion. Is that multiple abortions? Abortion.
I'm not sure, but it should be.
Yeah. So she's refusing to terminate. Ray didn't want her to have the baby because he wanted to avoid child support.
Yeah.
Which, god damn it.
I know.
To the guys, and I know any guys that are in our audience are probably better than this.
Yes.
But on the off chance, there's somebody out there that's like red pill adjacent. Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop. Right now.
Get help. Stop what you're doing.
If you don't want to have children and don't want to get stuck with child support, quit raw dogging random broads.
Yeah. There you go. That's it.
Don't do that. Also, if you just go around raw dogging random broads and you've managed to avoid the STI train, first, congratulations.
Yeah.
2, if that is how you insist on living your life, get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Bam.
You can have your cake and eat it.
Yeah, you really can. Just quit raw dogging random bitches if you're that afraid of child support.
Exactly. Easy as.
And this is purely anecdotal on my part. I know more than a few women that for whatever reason, their ex-husband is the custodial parent, which means these women are on the hook for child support.
Yeah.
I never hear them bitch.
No, why would you? It's your kid.
They just pay it.
Right?
And they keep it pushing.
Yeah. Because it's your kid.
Like,
and they need it.
They're not concerned that their ex may have paid a piece of the light bill.
Yeah, who cares?
With their money.
Yeah.
Or got an ice cream cone.
Yeah, the kid lives there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a fun little anecdote.
I know, right?
Out of the handful of women that I know that pay child support, none of them complain about the men that I know that.
In fact, I don't think like they don't complain. You wouldn't know they do pay child support.
Yeah.
Unless it came up in conversation.
I only know because these women are people that are close in my family, friends of family.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason I know. No, they don't go around talking about it.
No. Why would they?
Just an interesting tidbit.
Yeah, it is.
Keep it in
It is very interesting.
So, in his efforts to avoid child support, Rae Carruth hired Van Brett Watkins to kill Sharika. It's like, bro, you just got $3.27 million.
No, right?
The ends are meeting like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And for those that would say $27,000 for one kid, child support is too much, that depends on the kid.
True. Yeah. Now that sounds like just enough to support the kid. Because she's on her own. He's not going to be taking that kid off her hands.
No.
She's got to be available to raise him or to hire a babysitter, daycare, food, diapers.
And if your baby dad is a famous person, a certain amount of security and extra handling may need to occur with random fans.
Yeah, true.
When they get older, they're probably going to go to the same private school as all of their friends. And that costs, that just might be what it costs to raise a kid in a particular lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyrese Gibson, looking at you always whining about your child support on Beyonce's internet. I see you. I see you. Anyway, for their part, the defense would try to put Ray's accomplices on trial.
Of course.
Most specifically Van Brett Watkins. While Michael Kennedy and Stanley Abraham would admit to driving one of them, and the other one was in the passenger seat, and the other one was just in the back seat of the car sitting next to Van Brett.
Yeah.
They all admitted to be there, but they had no idea they were setting Sharika up to be killed.
Okay.
Van Brett would testify that Ray had hired him to kill Sharika. Ray's defense team would try to prove that Van Brett had killed Sharika on his own. Because Ray had decided to back out of a drug deal with Van Brett.
Oh, right. Okay, it's something.
Lazy reporting and stereotypes rear their ugly head once again.
Yeah.
I submit that only works once, and that was Nellie and the Fire Festival.
Yes.
And he went to court and said, "I'm just a dumb rapper." And they said, "True." And they let him go. And he on the nostalgia tour and keeping his nose clean.
To his credit.
You know, Hawk 2 girl could have taken a page from Nelly.
Right?
She flew too close to the sun.
And now she's just disappeared.
Yeah, she's on the hook for a lot of money that she no longer has.
Yeah. But I think she was dumb and I think they used her.
Probably, but there is something about her as like a pseudo celebrity that was insufferable.
It is. Well, it's insufferable. Anybody becomes famous like that.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know.
It's just weird. But, according to the defense, this is the drug deal gone bad.
Okay.
And that's why Van Brett killed Sharika to get back at Ray.
Right. Okay.
Sure, girl. Sure.
I mean, hey, it's the best defense he could buy.
Yeah. At one point in the trial, Ray's defense team tried to hit Van Brett with a gotcha when they confronted him of evidence of Van Brett Watkins saying, quote, "I hope the bitch that is dead."
Well, yeah, he was hired to do it.
But Van Brett said, no.
Oh.
Do not take me out of context. He said, yeah, I said that. I said I hope the dumb bitch is dead. Said it, right and true.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't talking about Sharik Adams.
Oh?
The dumb bitch I was talking about is that light-skinned motherfucker sitting over there, Rae Carruth. That's the dumb bitch I hope is dead.
Oh my God.
Got me caught up in this shit. Fucking with your dumb ass.
Well. I mean.
Van Brett Watkins got all the smoke for Rae Carruth. All of it.
I don't blame him. He shouldn't have done it. I don't blame him.
It was still funny. He's like, no, I'm talking about that motherfucker over there.
That
bitch. Wasn't talking about that innocent young woman that I murdered. She was fine. It's this bitch.
She was business. This is personal. That bitch. Right there.
Right? In the end, the jury decided on a compromise verdict. Michael and Stanley, who were both passengers in the car, were convicted as accessories before the fact and sentenced to 10 years each for the murder of Sharika Adams.
I think that's fair.
Yes. When the two men said that they knew nothing about Ray wanting Sharika dead, the jury believed them. Mm-hmm. They really did. It was like, I was just trying to party.
Fair. Yeah. That passes the smell test.
It does. Van Brett Watkins was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 50 years in prison and would die in prison at 63 years of age in 2023.
Oh, wow. A recent kill.
Yep. Until the day he died, Van Brett Watkins hated the air that Rae Carruth takes into his lungs.
Oh, well, yes.
That man is somewhere in the great beyond, cursing his name.
Rae Carruth, you ain't shit.
Just, he don't even, purgatory, hell, he don't even matter. It doesn't even matter if he goes to heaven or not.
He's created his own dimension of hatred.
And it's all for Rae Carruth. He got all the smoke, even in the afterlife.
Yeah. I'm going to co-sign that. Yes, I believe.
And Van Brett said that it was Ray's fault that he was fucking in jail, and that Ray should be sitting in jail right next to his ass.
Yes.
Ray would never take the stand. Smart.
Yeah.
But he would be sentenced to, convicted of conspiracy to commit murder and serve 19 years behind bars.
Okay.
Van Brett wants him to do the full 50, bitch.
I don't blame him.
Come sitting here with me.
But also, Van Brett, you should not have done it.
No.
You could have said no.
You should not have done
this. This is not all Ray's fault. Ray set this in motion. You went with it.
True, but he is really intent on this is Ray's fault.
Hard to argue.
I mean, I'll let him have it.
Exactly. I'm like, and Rae Carruth should be in jail longer than 19 years.
Oh, I've seen interviews. That man held hatred in his heart until the day he left God's green earth. I've never seen a man so hateful on death's door in my life. Wow. Mostly people are trying to repent. He's like, nah, fuck Rae Carruth. This might have been his last words for all I know.
Probably.
In later interviews, the jury would say that they didn't feel right about giving Rae first or second degree murder because he didn't pull the trigger himself. Mm-hmm. But they definitely believed he set it in motion.
Yeah.
So Rae has got his 19 years.
Yeah. Those are like done and dusted now. He's out, right?
Yep. Oh, we'll get there.
Oh, God.
Now, Michael and Stanley would be released within 5 years.
Okay.
They don't even serve their whole 10.
Good behavior, I hope.
And while he was serving time, Van Brett Watkins developed a somewhat friendly relationship with Sharika's mom, Miss Sandra Adams.
Wow.
In interviews, Sandra would say that she had to find a way to forgive Van Brett because wishing him the same pain and suffering he caused her and her grandson would be like eating a poison pill every day.
Yeah, I can see that.
And she couldn't take care of her baby.
Yeah.
Both the one that's still here with us and his late mother, if she was eating a poison pill every day.
Yeah.
And it is a sentiment that she extends to Rae somewhat. During a letter exchange with Miss Sandra, Van Brett would send her a few dollars every now and again. $10 here, $30 there. Whatever he made on his little prison paycheck. And when he sent her the money, he would tell her to buy something nice for her grandson. Van Brett Watkins is the decentest person that you will ever find in a convicted murderer.
Yeah. That sounds like real remorse.
Yeah. But, he really does mean that bitch Rae.
Yeah. Yes.
Rae Carruth would serve his entire 19 years.
Good.
And during that time, he became a prison barber. Yay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Sandra sued Rae for wrongful death.
Good.
While Sandra would ultimately win her suit against Rae, how much she got and what she gets, if anything, from his NFL pension, because he did pay long enough to be fully pensioned, is undisclosed.
Okay, yeah.
He's paying her for life, though.
Yeah. Medical bills for that kid for life.
Yes. Rae would be released from prison in 2018. And after his release, Rae attempted to file for sole custody of Chancellor.
Oh.
A disabled special needs kid that he has only seen twice since his conviction.
Yeah.
In his custody application, Rae cited Sandra's age. She would have been in her early middle 60s then. She's in her early 70s now. As a reason for him to get custody. And through his lawyers, Rae said, quote, "Miss Adams can't keep this up forever. Chancellor is always going to need care, and I would like to be seen as a viable option for that care." End quote.
God. No, dude. No. Never, ever, ever should you ever be allowed around that kid ever again.
Now, Sandra, in her reply, was a lot more polite and diplomatic than what I'm about to say.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel I got the spirit.
Go for it.
When she told him to fuck right the fuck off. You fucking murdering scumbag piece of shit.
Yes.
And she is not gonna turn her grandbaby over to a father that he doesn't know and who tried to have him killed.
Yeah.
And when the good Lord is ready to remove Sandra Adams from this good earth, she said she has a legion of friends, family, and loved ones who know and love Chancellor and are more than ready to take on her little boy if she should meet her earthly demise.
Get him, Sandra.
You have to imagine all of that in the voice of Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, the voice of God.
She said, "You ain't taking my baby, motherfucker."
Hell no.
And Ray saw Chancellor twice, first when he was born, and one other time in the NICU. Then he jumped bail and kind of fucked off in some broad's car to a Best Western 2 states over or some shit. While he was in jail, Ray would be a prison barber. And unlike Van Brett Watkins, who tried to make some sort of amends, $30 every couple of months and buy something nice to your grandson does not make up for the pain and suffering that that man has caused. But he tried it. Yeah. He knew he was going straight to hell, where he was going to wait for Rae Carruth to join him.
These are the only materials with which I could show my remorse.
So, Ray never sent any of his nickels, of which he still had plenty, to Sandra and Chancellor.
I don't know. That's why he wanted custody of the kid, so he doesn't have to pay any kind of child support to anyone but himself.
Right?
That's it.
Ray was paroled in 2018. He served his entire 19.
I know.
He is now 50 years of age. Remarried to what I can only describe as the dumbest ass in captivity.
Yes. Yeah.
Bitch, he killed the last one.
I can change him. He's different now.
There ain't that much light skin and good hair out there for me.
Oh, right?
to hook up with the likes of a Rae Carruth.
I know. I would never be able to sleep well.
No.
She's crazy.
She's gotta be. That's what I said. I didn't look up her name, but I've just decided it is dumbest ass in captivity.
Yeah. Like, what are those, prison, groupies?
Something. Him and his wife lived in an undisclosed location somewhere in the Midwest.
Jeez.
Over the years, Ray's developed a relationship with his oldest son, Ray Jr. And I guess you abandoned the kid, and I guess now that you're out of jail, somebody need to take care of your old ass. His mama sure as shit ain't gonna do it. And you killed the last one that may have thought about it.
Right.
So let's get in good with this boy.
Yeah.
NFL pension be damned.
Exactly.
Somebody has to change my diapers.
Please don't put me in the nursing home.
And on the rare occasion that he gives interviews, Ray will admit that he is the cause for all of this tragedy. But he always stops short of saying that he hired Van Brett to kill Sharika. Ray admits that driving off after he saw that Sharika was shot was not his finest moments. It was far from chivalrous.
Yeah.
He goes on, it's shameful. Because she was my girlfriend. I was her boyfriend. I was supposed to provide and protect. And I couldn't protect her. Who was going to protect her from you, simple bitch?
Exactly. Which, I mean, the most dangerous time in a woman's life is when she's pregnant. And not just because of pregnancy complications. It's because, what if your choice is interfering with some man's vision of his future?
Yeah.
Or he's just jealous or weird,
So yeah, it wasn't his finest moment.
No.
It is not chivalrous.
No.
To let somebody be shot up in their car.
It's like if you could have just exercised a little self-control.
I'm telling you.
Just lumped it.
If you're just going to be out there raw dogging broads.
Exactly.
1, congratulations on avoiding the STI train. But 2, if that's how you want to live your life and keep rolling the dice with your dick, at least get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
That way, the only thing you got to worry about is your own leaky dick.
Exactly.
And quit telling bitches you want to marry him and have babies
Right?
just so that you could get the puss.
Exactly.
If she made it that far, she was probably going to let you have some anyway.
Yeah, true.
But you don't got to lie to kick it.
Yeah.
Because some broads do believe that shit.
Yeah. And it's just a cruel thing to do.
Yes.
It's cruel.
Ray admits that he drove off because when he saw Sharika was shot, he was scared that Van Bright would kill him too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Ray Carruth.
That's scary.
Got shot
So scared.
by the guy that I hired.
My life. No. Not me.
And Ray sticks with the defense story that Van Brett killed Sharika on his own after Ray said he wouldn't give him money for a drug deal.
Okay, buddy.
And yet, through all of this tragedy, there is a silver lining.
Oh, yeah?
Chancellor is now 25 years old.
Oh, yay, Chancellor. That is a cool name, too.
When he was born, doctors told Sandra that he would never walk or talk. But with the love and devotion of Sandra and their extended family, Chancellor can not only walk, he walks with the walker, but the boy is mobile. And he does have some speech ability.
Nice. Good for you, Chancellor.
Although his speech ability is limited, but I think it's safe to say he probably understands more than what he can verbalize.
Yes, I would not be surprised.
Chancellor is an avid horseback rider.
Oh, nice.
He got into horseback riding as part of his physical therapy, and he just sort of took to it. And Sandra is fond of saying that if it wasn't for the cerebral palsy, she has no doubt that Chancellor would have been able to run circles around his father.
Yes, I believe it.
He inherited his father's athletic abilities, such as they are for the body that he's living in.
Yes.
But he definitely has some natural athletic skill going on with that.
And some horseback riding.
Sandra tries to keep Sharika's memory alive by visiting her grave with Chancellor, showing him pictures, and sharing memories of a life cut too short.
Yeah.
Chancellor and Sandra call Sharika Mommy Angel.
Oh, that's sweet.
And Sandra says Chancellor is a lot like his mom. In her grandson, she sees the same determination that Sharika had when she called 911 and made sure that Chancellor made it into this world, even though she had to leave it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible.
But Sandra also sees a lot of Ray in Chancellor. He's handsome, very much like his father. And you can see that he's inherited some of that athletic ability, like the way he uses his walker, the way he seems to take really well to therapies and things that make him get up and move.
Adapts really well.
And she puts that to some natural athletic ability that Ray passed on.
That makes sense.
Ray would eventually drop his quest for custody of Chancellor. Thank fuck.
Right? Ugh.
And as of November 2024, Sandra is getting ready for Chancellor's 25th birthday.
Nice.
It's going to be a bowling party, one of his other favorite things. And when asked if he was looking forward to it, Chancellor says, "Yeah!"
Yay, Chancellor.
And that was the story of Sharika Adams and Rae Carruth.
Sharika's incredibly impressive. Fuck you, Ray.
I hope whatever addle-brained hussy decided to marry him after all this. It wasn't a secret. This was all over the papers in 99, 2000.
Yeah.
Whatever addle-brained hussy married him, I hope she bleeds him dry. That's all I got.
Yes.
I hope she's a plant for Sandra Adams, and she's somehow funneling Sandra and Chancellor millions under Ray's nose.
That's a lovely thought. Yes. Yes.
And you know what? I hope Ray knows and just knows better than to try to stop her.
Yes.
Like, well, fuck it. This is just the life I lead. And on that note, Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Exactly.
Engage with the algorithm, because that's how my voice is going to come back to its full power.
Exactly. Clap and like and share.
Wait for Samara's voice to recover from the holidays.
Come on, Tink.
And on that note, I have been Samara.
And I've been Jeannie.
And this has been Talk Deadly to Me.